session, and before the break, as we have said that there are different ways to draw a microstrip patch antenna. So the first one, which is a very basic way, and the software which is IE3D based on such type of drawings is using this similar technique which just we have demonstrated. Now let us go ahead and try to draw the same inset feed patch antenna using again separate rectangles and polygons, but this time the option of merge or intersection option, which is the common rectangle that we would like to intersect. So this technique or the way of the drawing which we will be demonstrating through this second method is very useful when you would like to create the slots, maybe cuts, or maybe even creating a defective structures, defects on your main patch, or maybe defects on your ground plane. So in that sense, this technique will be quite useful. So I will now go to ADS and try to draw the same patch antenna using second technique. So for second technique again, what I will be doing is that I will first demonstrate you on this slide. I will first draw the entire rectangle, including this feed, right? My first step, I will draw the entire rectangle. Second step which I follow is that I will use the rectangles of this size, sorry, up to this, of this size to remove from my earlier rectangle on either sides. So I will remove this, right, up to this point. My third step, I will remove this section of earlier rectangle. And finally, I will remove this section so that it will create the inset feed patch antenna. All right. So first, let us create the rectangle of this size. What is this size? So this size is actually, the width is 29.2. The width is 29.2 and the height. So the, oh, very sorry for this. So width is 29.2 and the height, this entire height is actually L plus this 22 minus H, right? So this dimension we have to add, which is actually 22 minus this total 22 minus H. So this will be, the rectangle will be L is equal to the height of that, the entire rectangle will be this L, which is 29.2 plus 22 minus H. So H is 12. So 12, 22 minus, I will write here 22 minus H. H is 12. So that is 10. So the total height will become 39.2. So this is my first step. I will draw the rectangle of size, x dimension is 29.2 and its y dimension is 39.2. Now you want to delete box on either side. I mean, if you have created this, you want to delete this box on either side. So what is its x dimension? Its x dimension will be this capital X plus capital X plus, you can see this X dimension is 11.7. So I'll write here plus the gap, and you know that the gap is 1.4. So 11.7 plus 1.4 will become 13.1. What is Y dimension? You keep thinking on this. So X for this will be 13.1 and Y is what? So you see, anybody? What is Y for that box? Anup, can you tell me what is Y for this box? Y will be this
10,
total length. Total length which is 22 minus
10,
H is 12. So that is
10 mm.
Y will be 10 mm. That is quite simple. Just I am taking your interest, and the same box will be putting to other side, to this side also, so that will remove the area which we wanted to remove. Again of same size, X is equal to 13.1 and Y is equal to 10 mm. Next, then we want to create the slot, right? We want to create the gap, this gap. So how do we create the gap? We again use a rectangle of width 1.4 mm, because that is the gap width. And what is the height for that, or you can say length for that? That is capital H, which is 12 mm. So this way we can draw this particular rectangle, and during this process you will learn how you can create the defects, how you can create the slots, and how you can modify your structure. All right, so let me come back to the ADS and I will do it step by step. First I will take a rectangle and just plot it here, and I will change its length and height, width and height. So width, as I said, 29.2, and height is, I think, 39.2, Anu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now take another rectangle. Take another rectangle. If you have done this rectangle is of width 29.2 and height is 39.2. Now check another rectangle. Just draw it over the same rectangle, because we have to remove the area from this side and that side, means from either side. And what is the dimension for this rectangle? We have calculated X will be 13.1 and Y will be 10.
10, 10.
Yeah, thank you. So now place it exactly on that rectangle. You can use the zoom option and place it like this. It's quite easy. Then again copy the same rectangle and place to other side. Copy the same rectangle, same dimensions, and place it to other side. Once done, your structure will look like this. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is very important step. So select all these three rectangles. Select these three rectangles. So a pink color border will appear once you have selected. Using control key on the keyboard, select these three rectangles. If you have selected them, keep them selected and go to edit, merge, and in merge the final one, which is union minus intersection option. I will show you one more time. Select these three rectangles, to edit, merge, and the option which is union minus intersection. Okay. If you click, those the sections which were intersecting will be removed. I will show you one more time. We have drawn first rectangle, then overlap those rectangles which actually we wanted to remove that area from our main rectangle. So we created two more rectangles on either sides, and now selected all these three rectangles and used option edit, merge, and used it union minus intersection. So once you click OK or that option, it will show you the structure like this. Now you have to create the gap. To create a gap, we take one more rectangle. And what is width and height for this rectangle?
Mm, 1.4.
Width is 1.4 and height is 12 mm. Once done, now width 1.4 and height 12. Once you have drawn that rectangle, now use the zoom option and place it exactly where you want to make a gap. This way. Copy the same section and place it other side. So it will create the same gap on other side also. And one more time, same option, select these three rectangles, go to edit, merge, union minus intersection. That's it. So you have drawn the same patch with two different methods. Exactly same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let us come to the third method, which is using coordinate entry. So this method is very simple and this is very useful if you are doing a drawing of a inset feed antenna or any other antenna. But the requirement is that you first have to determine the coordinates for your antenna. And once you know the coordinates for your structure, then you can use this coordinate entry option to draw your inset feed. So I have already calculated these coordinates, and for you I will calculate it one more time. So let us start, and we first determine the coordinates. Once this job is done, it is very easy in ADS to draw this inset feed patch antenna using coordinate entry. So my coordinates are something like this. This is first, this is my second coordinate, or you can also call it as a 0, 1, likewise also. So I will name it first. This is 1, 2, 3. This is coordinate 4. This is, oh sorry, so this was fourth, this is the fifth, this is sixth coordinate, this is seventh, this is eighth, this will be 9, this will be 10 and 11, this is 12th, and again 13th will be this one. So you have to name your coordinates before you can go ahead and draw this geometry using coordinate entry system. So now let us find out the coordinates, how I have found them. So the first one, so this I will choose as the origin. So the first one will be 0, 0. So x will be 0 and y will be 0. What is the second coordinate? So second will be x will be 0 only and y is this height L, and L is 29.2. That is why it is coming 0, 29.2. So we have done this 0, 0 and 29.2. Similarly, we have to find out for all coordinates. So let us come to third one. What is 3? So for 3, x is also w. So it is w is 29.2 and y is also 29.2. So this is third coordinate. The fourth coordinate, x is 29.2 and y is, now y is 0. So this is the fourth coordinate. Now let us come to fifth coordinate. What is fifth? So this total is 29.2, right? This total is 29.2. Subtract this length, which is z, so you will get the x. All right. So that is 17.5. So x will be 17.5 and y will be 0. So this is what we have done. Fourth is done, fifth is done. Now what is sixth coordinate? Again x will be same 17.5 and y will be what? The capital H, that is 12. So this is also done. Now let us talk about seventh coordinate. So y will be same for that. What is x? X will be 17.5 minus 1.4. So that is 16.1 comma 12. What about coordinate 8? So x will be same 16.1 only. But what is y? So y will be from here you are 22 mm going down, but already in that 22 this 12 will be included. So minus 10 will be sufficient to get the 22 mm length from this location. 12 will be this, and so you will reach to the 0, y equal to 0, and 10 will be added. So minus 10 plus 12 will give you the 22 mm length over this. So this eighth is done. 6.1 comma minus 10. What is 19? Oh, sorry, point coordinate number 9. So y will be minus 10 only. There is no movement along y axis from 8 to 9. But what is x?
Subtract by 3.
Yeah, subtract by 3. That's the width of this line. So that will become 16.1 minus 3, 13.1. Then come to the 10. No variation along x-axis. This is done. So no variation along x-axis. So 10th coordinate will be 13.1. And again you have reached to the same height. So the y coordinate will be again 12. Let us talk about 11th coordinate. Again from 13.1 you have to subtract how much, Anup? The gap width, which is 1.4. So that will be 11.7 minus y will be same again, 12. And this coordinate, which is 12th one, again there is no movement along x-axis. So x will be 11.7, and y will be, you have reached to the same line, so y is 0, and coming back to the same origin point, that is again 0 comma 0. So this way, depending on your geometry, you first determine the coordinates. Ready? Coordinates are ready?
Yes, sir.
Now come to ADS. Come to ADS and just keep these two antennas little aside. Keep our drawing area free, and I am not deleting those antennas because I just wanted to let you know at the end the structures which we have creating with different techniques. Ultimately it is the same structure. Which one you will feel comfortable, you can take it ahead. So now how to draw this? Select polygon, or even you can go to insert polygon. The same thing is there. You can use command or you can use the icon. So the crosshair of polygon will be attached to your cursor. Then go to insert and go to coordinate entry. Likewise you can go ahead. I will repeat this step one more time. Create new polygon. Go to insert, coordinate entry. And now you just have to keep on entering the coordinates. So the first coordinate is 0, x0, y0, and do not forget to click apply. So if you apply, you can see here the cursor is now pointing towards the start of your drawing, start of your geometry, which is x equal to 0, y equal to 0. Now the second coordinate is x equal to 0, y equal to 29.2. Again if you click apply, yeah, you can see that the drawing is now shifted to vertical side, y equal to 29.2. So you keep on entering these coordinates. The third coordinate 29.2, 29.2, click apply. Next coordinate 29.2 comma 0, apply. 17.5 comma 0, apply 17.5 comma 12, 16.1 comma 12, 16.1 minus 10, 13.1 minus 10, 13.1 12, 11.7 12, 11.7 0, and 0 comma 0. So click OK and ESC button. So you have got the same antenna which you have drawn earlier, exactly same with these three methods. Which one you liked? As we are moving into the steps, you may be feeling that, oh, this one is better. Oh, this one is better. So still we have not completed the ways of drawing this patch antenna. Two more ways to go. And I hope you will feel that, yes, this one is better, not earlier one. So you have to go to insert polygon and go to insert coordinate entry option and keep entering all these coordinates one after another and keep applying those coordinates, and at the end click OK in that small window and press spacebar to end the polygon drawing command, or you can also press S button. So you will come to the geometry, which is this thing. Now coming back to this, three we have done. The fourth one, using command line editor. This is a great feature of ADS. The last two one, I am saying that these are the great features of ADS. Why I am saying that, you will come to know that. So using command line editor. So here it is command line editor. What you have to do, whatever coordinates you have been calculated for your microstrip patch antenna, you just have to take those coordinates and make a simple notepad file like this. I have created for 2.4 gigahertz patch, and you just have to use the command AP. So this command is actually for add polygon. You have to take this thing, entire same coordinates I have copied, come to ADS, right? But before that, let us move this so that there will be some kind of a space. And in command line editor window, paste those coordinates and click enter. So your new patch is being created. I will show you one more time. So nothing is there. I have copied these coordinates. Coordinates are same, just I have used the command AP. Copied all these coordinates, and in command line editor I have pasted it, and I have used enter button. So with single enter button, your inset-feed patch antenna is being drawn. Now again you will be feeling, yes, this is better.
Sir, how to get that command line in the top?
Okay, so in your case, this may not be appearing. You may be wondering how this is there in my ADS. So you can always go to the main window of ADS, go to tools, in main ADS, main workspace, main window, go to tools, app manager, and you will find that there is the first option, layout command line editor. So just check this option. In your case, it is unchecked. So check this and click OK. So ADS may ask you to restart, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you can restart. So you can restart, and when you will restart your ADS, this command line editor window will appear there. So I'll just wait for 2 minutes. By the time you all will go to the main window, go to the tools option, app manager, and check this small box, click OK. And next time when you start your ADS, this command line editor will appear into the layout toolbars. So the only requirement to draw this using command line editor is that you have to have proper coordinates calculated for your structure.
Sir, क्या करना है? Sir, what is to be ticked? You said under ADS application feature.
Yeah, in main window, you have to go to tools, app
Yes.
manager, app manager, and
Uh,
there you have first option layout command line editor. It may be
okay.
unchecked in your case. So just check this
Okay.
and click OK. So ADS may ask you to restart for a while. So restart your ADS, and when you restart it and come to the layout, then this command line window will appear there. Command line editor window will appear there. So there are a lot of commands in this particular window, command line editor. You can just see them. You can have the lateral extension, you can have a movement, you can add the distance maybe in X or Y, you can move the distance in the direction X and Y. So there are a lot of options available. Even you can add rectangle, you can add circle at locations. So a lot of useful commands are there to save your drawing time. So this is why that is why I have written this fifth step, which is actually a great feature of ADS. Fourth step. And also fifth one, which is many of you are interested to do that, how I can plot the equivalent circuit of my microstrip patch antenna. But during the step 5, I will try to make this particular microstrip patch antenna, which is an inset feed patch antenna, using a schematic window. I will draw something in a schematic window and I will make the patch antenna. So how is it possible? So before that, let me just wait for a while for those who are actually trying to do this using command line editor. So first you make the notepad, write the command like AP and all the coordinates without any comma, just a space you use. Write them properly in a notepad or maybe in a Word file. Notepad is quite comfortably, you can do these things, and copy it and paste into the command line editor window and click enter. Once done, please let me know so we can go to the step number 5. Done? Anup?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the command line editor window in layout?
Yes, yes, got it.
Okay. That's great. So if done, now the final way of drawing this inset feed is schematic driven patch or schematic driven antenna. So this we have done. Now let us ask yourself a question. Can you represent this antenna geometry in schematic? And I expect answer from some of you. Maybe Ruchi or Anup can try to answer out this, or even those who are actually taking interest. If you want to represent this geometry in a schematic, how do you represent? Is there any way?
We can use Microstrip.
How?
So we have to go for the lumped equivalent.
Lumped equivalent. Okay. Okay. Any other option? You have to generate this layout. Think in a way that you have to generate this layout in a layout window. So what you have to draw in a schematic window so that you will get this layout in a layout window? That is my question.
So the metal part can be replaced by an inductor.
Okay.
Uh, and the gaps can be replaced by capacitor.
Okay.
So that way we can do so.
Okay. So as you are thinking, this is not as difficult as you are thinking. This is a very simple way, straightforward way to do this in a schematic. There is a very straightforward and simple way to do that. Any other answer? Is anybody would like to answer? Hmm? So let us think on this. The person who is going to answer it correctly will be the strong contender for best participant award. Nobody would like to try? You can think in a way as we have created microstrip filters. We have created stepped impedance filter, we have created several microstrip line filters. So how we have generated a layout for a stepped impedance filter? We have used some transmission lines of variable lengths and widths that we want to be in a layout. So same we have drawn in a schematic and we have generated the layout of that filter. So the same thing can be done, you see. You can have the three sections of your patch antenna. Likewise, the section 1 will be the feed line, and how you can represent this feed line? With the help of simple microstrip transmission line, isn't it? What
Yes.
about the inset and partial patch? First, let us talk about the section 3. Section 3 can be drawn in a schematic with the help of again a transmission line, but which will be open circuited kind of a transmission line. So that is well understood. Section 1 and section 3 can be easily represented in a schematic window with MLean and MLOC. What about the section 2? How do you represent it in a schematic?
That couple line.
Absolutely right. I think Anup is there.
Yes, yes, sir.
So I hope this is worth which I have discussed during my training program. So you have taken a lot of efforts to understand the things and you are always responding to me. So that you are really, your interest is appreciated from my side. As you said that this is the couple line you can use, but you can see how many gaps are there. You have to have two gaps, two spacing should be there for your couple line. In general, we have a couple line microstrip section which has got one spacing.
Yes, sir. There's a triple layer couple line is there.
And yeah, similarly we have the three section couple line microstrip transmission line. So section 1, section 2, this one. This will be section 1, this will be section 2, and this will be section 3. So the couple line section with three sections with variable widths, and the spacing 1 will be this and spacing 2 will be this. So this is the way how you can make your schematic and generate its a layout. So it will give you inset-feed patch antenna in a layout window. Isn't it interesting? So what I have created? I have created one schematic in the same workspace. Okay, before that, let us talk something about the length and width of all these sections. So that will be very easy to draw the geometry. So first is this section. In our case, this is 29.2. So this will be 29.2 for the section 3. Section 3, x dimension is 29.2. What is y dimension? Y dimension is actually the total length minus this. Again 29.2 minus that thing, or even you are drawing it separately. So this dimension, okay, for this will be 29.2 minus 12. So this will become 17.2. So that is for first section. This will be y and that will be x. For the section 1 feed we will first talk about. So the width will be, for feed line it is 3 mm. So x will be 3 mm. And what is height? So this height will be, total height is 22 minus h, which is 12. So 22 minus 12 is 10. So y will be 10. So we have calculated for section 1 and section 3. Now for section 2, we have a Maclean. So the width 1 is this, width 2 is this, and let us say width 3 is this. So width 1 and width 3 are same. Those are actually x and z, right? Which is 11.7 and 11.7. What about height? Height for these sections. So height is again h is 12. So height will be same. Just one more parameter, which is the spacing 1 and spacing 2, which is equal, and that is 1.4. So this spacing is 1.4 on either sides. If you have noted all these things, now you can come to the schematic window and draw these things as I have drawn. So for first section, which is a feed line section, I have taken one microstrip transmission line whose width is 3 and whose length is 10. Now I will first go to the top section. I have taken LOC, so that is from the same microstrip transmission line. Just in front of your series transmission line, you have open circuited transmission line. You can take it and just rotate it in this fashion, change its width to 29.2 and length to 17.2. And for this couple section, section 2, we'll go to the top of this palette, and there is the option 3 conductor microstrip asymmetric couple line. So we'll take this, place it over drawing area, Control R, rotate it, and we will change its parameters accordingly. Width 1 is 11.7, width 2 is the field line length 3 mm and width 3 is again 11.7. Spacings are on either side 1.4 and height of that is capital H 12 mm. So if you do that, you simply connect it, place a port at the input of feed. Please let me know if you have done this.
Yes, sir.
That's great. Once you have done this thing, now you can go to layout, generate update layout, and if you click OK, your microstrip patch antenna will be ready. So ignore about these points. You can always unite this structure. So it can be neglected likewise also. So we have seen. Are you able to see this, Anup?
Yes, sir.
Have you got this layout generated through schematic?
Yes.
All right, great. So we have done all the 5 ways of drawing of this particular inside feed microstrip patch antenna. Which one you like?
The last one.
Last one you like very much, but what is the limitation of last one? Always it is not possible to represent in equivalent schematic. It is not always possible to represent your microstrip patch antenna with equivalent schematic drawing. The one which I have liked is number 3 and number 4. Until and unless I don't have to create any complicated defects, which will actually creates a huge burden on me to calculate the coordinates. Number 3 and number 4 are quite good. Even number 2 is very, very useful while creating the slots and cuts and even creating a defects and all the things. So all your questions, maybe Archana ma'am, Geeta ma'am, and even Ruchi is also there. Those who are interested to draw the different shapes of antennas, different defects of antennas, and how you can do that. So it is this particular 1 hour which I have devoted to just focus on the drawing of different microstrip patch antenna, same microstrip patch antenna in little different ways will greatly help you to make any geometry in a in ADS using any one of the technique which we have discussed. So hope that may have helped you in certain extent. So once it is done, now you can place the port to the structure and go ahead and simulate it. So this is my structure. This is inset feed I have created. Yeah. So see the EM simulation setup, and this time I have created both the sweeps. Also see the substrate, but you have been asked to do that at I think FR4 substrate. Yeah. So this is on FR4 substrate. So change the substrate parameters. So you have to change the substrate parameters accordingly. I might have changed it. Let me just check. Schematic driven inside feed. Okay, so I will also change with you without wasting much time. So go to the 4.6 FR4 001 loss tangent. Okay, I will pick this. Thickness is I think 1.6, yeah, 1.6 mm, and the copper is perfect conductor, 35 micron. All right, so I'll save it and go to the setup again and see this is 2.4. So I have made two sweeps. One is for adaptive 2.1 to 2.7 and another one is a 2.4. I'll click on simulate. So the structure will be simulated. Yeah, exact dip at 2.4, almost 2.396. So those equations which we have used, I hope you will appreciate. The equations which we have used are pretty good, up to few gigahertz, maybe 6, 7, 8 gigahertz, even 10 gigahertz also. But user says the reference which I have referred for this equation, they says up to 5, 6 gigahertz. These equations work very good. So we have tried it at 2.4 gigahertz. And what is the limitation which we have observed of those online calculators? The dip actually we were expecting at 10 gigahertz, but it is shifted little bit to the lower frequency. So that has also overcome with those equations. And now you got the means potential of using the correct mathematical equations and doing the calculations in a right way. Always you have an option to do the optimization with your EDA tool, but that is not a good practice always to go for optimization. First you have to have very proper mathematical set of equations if you are doing or carrying out the research work in this particular domain. All right, if you have done that, then you can again come back to the 3D visualizer, far field visualizer, and you can see the structure in a 3D. And this is radiation pattern of that inset feed microstrip patch antenna. As I said, you can go to the plot properties, far fields, and now you can see the single frequency, actually it is 2.1. So I can see at this particular frequency, the results are not that so much good. What I will do, I have an option to choose the frequency, but anyways I am not getting here, so I will just quickly do this thing. I will remove the adaptive sweep, so and simulate it at 2.4 gigahertz and try to let you know about the things. There is one option, but currently one more time I will switch on this far field option. Yeah, and now it is expected that I shall see the option for the best design frequency, which is 2.4. Yeah, it is coming now 2.4. So antenna parameters are now quite good. Efficiency is almost 80%. Gain is 5.2. Directivity is 6.29. The same things as we were doing. This is radiation pattern. This is structure of antenna in 3D. You can go to the data display
Sir,
to see all these parameters. Yes.
sir, can we see a schematic also in 3D?
Schematic actually means schematic is with the microstrip transmission lines. We are not giving any means 3D parameter to that. Why do you want to see it in a 3D?
Sir, in case there are some lump components, using lump components, suppose I have designed a filter and now I have to go to the implementation of that on the PCB and something like that. Then how ADS is going to help me in that?
No, then you have to go for EM Pro. EM Pro is a supporting tool from Keysight only. In that case, not only your RLC components or even diode transistors, but also you can make a model of your SMA connector also. Even you can create your own box. and inside that box you can place your PCB. You can have the spaces for your components, maybe a circuit code simulation, which we were talking about, EM circuit code simulation. And with the help of those connectors and boxes, you can get the real field of a 3D circuit, which you actually trying to do that. Only ADS will not support. EM Pro is the supporting tool which we have to integrate with ADS only. Then that job can be done.
Okay, so it is provided with the Keysight only.
Yeah, it is the product of Keysight only.
Okay, so it's another purchase.
Yeah, so it depends on your requirement, what bundles you need to be required in your software. As of now, I can just demonstrate you. We all are doing this with MOM, but you can see there is one feature. You can go and simulate this structure with FEM.
Mm-hmm.
So the simple thing is that if you don't expect FEM simulator to be there in your ADS, so you can ignore it. You can just go with Momentum Micro and Momentum RF. So your price of ADS license can be, means ADS software can be reduced.
Okay.
That way, there are a lot of options available with purchase of ADS. Which bundles you require, what are your actual requirements from ADS, what type of job you wanted to carry out. Depending on that, you
Mm-hmm.
can just increase the number of bundles, and you can also increase the supporting tools. Likewise, EM Pro and other tools are also available for signal integrity, power integrity issue, and all these things. So you
So
just have to check with.
any EMI EMC related experiments can be done in ADS.
Yes, yes, yes. That is what the single statement which I have said at the start. You picked up any problem related to RF and microwave engineering, you can do that inside the ADS. But it is always the case, some of the issues cannot be handled properly. Likewise, your non-planar structures, which you have asked me other day, that
Yes, sir.
reflector antennas and horn antennas, that can be done very easily with other tools like CST and HFSS or even CAD FICO. But most of the RF design problems can be solved or can be studied with the help of this tool. Right from your basic schematic level designs, maybe LC network and your transistorized amplifiers, and you can move up to the antennas also. But the limitation is that you can do only planar antennas. If your wire or aperture antennas are there, then it is little difficult. EMI, EMC, then your RFIC, then your signal integrity issues, power integrity issues, that we used to call it as CIPRO and PI Pro. Then your lot of analysis related to the modulation things, RF system budget analysis, lot of things can be done using ADS.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The topic which I have covered is just 1% of the potential of ADS.
Okay,
Just
sir.
1%.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Once you have done, you will see that I hope I have shown to you these things. Then you can, as we were trying to see the animation of this particular thing. So you can see the animation as we were doing that for uh, lambda by 4 feed. Similarly, you can do here also. You can see these things. All right, so that's all from my side for this particular fade antenna. Then you can go to the other exercises and you can always try to design different microstrip patch antennas with this. The another point of interest many of you were asking me is about finite ground. So quickly I will go to ADS and try to demonstrate you how you can create a finite ground antenna. So I have created a separate workspace for it. So this is inset feed I have created for infinite ground. So this is just on another frequency 1 gig. So this is the same thing, inset feed, just at another frequency. And now I wanted to make it with finite ground. So I have created another layout, and as I have demonstrated during last day, you can go to the drawing layer, which is contour drawing layer, and insert a rectangle of a specified size. Once you have done that, you can always decide what is the size of your ground plane, and you have to place the pin on that particular ground plane also. So as near as possible I have placed another ground plane. This is my top plane. I will demonstrate you. This is main patch, this is the field line for the patch, port for the patch, and I have inserted a ground plane which is a finite ground. Geeta ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So you were asking me about the finite ground. So quickly I will just let you know. You have to insert this ground plane and you have to place a port over there. Once you have placed a port, you can go to the EM simulation setup and go to the ports. So you will find that there are two ports. But if you do this, I will just let you know. I will create a new cell. I have also created this. I will remove the uh, ground plane. So the patch will be there. I will also remove the port. All right. So there is no other port, so that I will just demonstrate you how you can do that. Now I will go to the drawing layer, contour drawing. I will take a rectangle, and depending on the size of my ground plane, I will insert a rectangle. So that is as simple as this. And just I will try to place it exactly where my patch is going to start. Always good practice to find out the coordinates for patch as well as the ground plane. Again, I will come to the conv1 drawing. Now you can easily see that I have created a patch and there is a finite ground plane also. I will go and insert the port. Sorry, I'll go and insert the port on the ground plane closer to the port 1. And now if I go to the simulation setup and ports, I will find that there are two ports, right? And I have taken this port to the port to already ground. It is being created, right? So I have assigned it to ground. Otherwise, in your case, it may be the port 1 and negative terminal, and port 2 and negative terminal. Likewise may be the case. So I can remove the port. Yeah, this may be the case in yours. You have only P1 and ground. So what I did, I picked up this P2 and placed it as a ground to port 1. So this is the process which we have to follow to place a port on a ground plane. So once you have done that, now your ground plane is ready, your patch is ready. You can go ahead and simulate this. So I have simulated both these things. Infinite ground and finite ground I have simulated. Let us do this one more time, and I will just try to demonstrate you the difference between, because uh, I have not done the actual calculations for ground plane. Anyways, I will just try to compare the results of infinite ground and finite ground plane microstrip patch antenna. So first I will take infinite ground, and then I will go for inset feed finite ground. So you have to name it properly so that you can easily understand. And you see, I have plotted both the results. So that you can see both antennas are resonating at exactly the same resonant frequency of a 2.4 gigahertz. But in case of finite ground, your results are improved like anything, maybe minus 40 onwards. And in case of even it is not bad if you are using infinite ground plane, means the resonance is not actually the changing lot, right? So that is why at the first cut we generally used to go with the infinite ground plane. If I do it properly, whether what are the dimensions of that ground plane? There is a rule, you may be knowing that 6 times of length and width of your uh, microstrip patch antenna. If you make, that ground plane will act as an infinite ground plane. So let us simulate this one more time. Now you can see the results are in good comparison. I can always place a line marker to understand it. So it will read out both the values for me. Minus 17 in case of infinite ground, and it is minus 32 in case of a finite ground. So you have to have a proper ground plane, and then as you were interested to make this ground plane, you wanted to make some defects on it. So you can always make defects as we have made on the top. So you can always take the rectangle, place it here, and let us consider this, and let us try. So it will create a defect on your ground plane. Is it, ma'am? The same thing you were interested to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's all about the finite ground and creating defects on the ground plane or creating defects on the patch. There are a lot of ways to create that also. Now let me just take you to the last segment of my discussion, which I was trying to demonstrate you. That is about EM optimization. So for that, quickly within a 2 minutes of a time, I will just try to demonstrate you how EM optimization can be done. I will go to the microstrip filters, where the same thing can be explained. The filter which you have created in a layout, which is a stepped impedance filter, you can always go to the EM. What is EM optimization, or what is optimization? You have to change the length and width of your transmission line sections, and you have to see that which length and width of particular transmission line section is able to produce the results which are very close to my expectations. So that is the meaning of optimization. So once you have a structure which is an EM structure, the optimization is quite easy. Tuning and optimization is quite easy in a schematic window. But when it comes to the EM, means layout, then it is a little difficult, not as such difficult, but you can always do that also. So I will just demonstrate to EM optimization way. You can go to the EM, go to the component and create parameters. So here you have to create parameters. I have created the length parameter for this transmission line and this transmission line. So I have created L1, and the default value I have chosen 2.06, which is there from our stepped impedance filter, and L2 I have created, whose by default value 6.702. There are two types of varying the value of these EM components. One is nominal perturb, and another one is a subnetwork. So for filter kind of application, subnetwork would be good. If you are doing antenna kind of a thing, you have to go for nominal perturb option, or the type of this particular EM optimization. Once you have done this, you can create always the symbol. You have already seen this component, create EM model and symbol, as we have done that for Wilkinson power divider. So symbol would be done generated for your stepped impedance filter, and these two things are being now variable. We have made variable for them. So you have to create a new schematic, drag and drop that particular filter, and now this is L1 which you wanted to change, and this is L2. Just only we are changing the length of these two transmission lines. So I have created the variable L1 is equal to length 1, that the same name which I have created in the EM window. So I am calling this as a length 1 in mm, and L2 is the length of second transmission line in mm. So what is length 1 and length 2? I will just tell ADS length 1 is the 2.06. Again, need not to create the mm, because if you define it two times, mm and mm, it will become micrometers. So be careful, define it once only. Length 1 is 2.06 and length 2 is 6.702. Then sweep the parameter. Only one parameter I will sweep, which is length 2, second transmission line. The length of this transmission line I will sweep from 6.70, which is the actual length, to 12.7 in step of 1, and I will plot the results between 0 to 5 gigahertz. If I do simulate this, you will find that ADS will give me the results for all values of the transmission line 2, right from 6.70 to 7.70 to 8.702 up to 12.702. So I have changed the line colors and I have inserted the marker, and based on my requirement I can always pick up the best length, transmission line length for this particular filter, second transmission line length for this filter. So where it is exactly 3 dB, that length I will pick 0, 1, 2, and third option I can always pick and set it to that value. So and I resimulate the filter. So that way I can always go for the EM optimization. So that is all from my side. I have covered the topics which I have said. The only topic which I have not covered is about the RF characterization using vector network analyzer. So anyways, it requires a lot of understandings to do the measurements, but if time permits, tomorrow I will try to demonstrate you at least 10-15 minutes on a vector network analyzer if you are really interested. Otherwise, almost all other topics which I have written during the schedule and during the program brochure, I have tried to cover all those topics within the time. And once again, I am very much thankful to all interested people, those who have taken a lot of efforts during the hands-on sessions and kept the sessions very live and taken part in the discussion. So if you have any questions at this point, I'll be more than happy to answer it if I could. Otherwise, we will wind up for today. And tomorrow we have a session on MMIC power amplifier, as we were saying. Mr. Pratik Khurana from Keysight is visiting. And if you have any specific questions related to purchase of Keysight, or maybe as some of you were talking about the 3D simulation, I said something about EM Pro. So there is the right person who is going to be there with us. So many questions you can ask to him, and he will be really happy to answer your questions and support to all of you for your future endeavors. So with this note, I will stop here. As I said, I will just wait for 5-10 seconds. If any questions, any suggestions, any comments from your side, because this is how I have completed training from actual delivery from my side. Training will complete on tomorrow. So tomorrow I will not be the speaker. So this is my last words for this training program. If you have to say anything, you are always welcome.
Sir, we are in the process of purchasing ADS. So regarding this, if I have any doubts, can I contact you, sir?
Yeah, you can contact.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments, any suggestions, any feedback if you want to say at this point? This is not a formal valedictory, but as I am completing my sessions, if you have anything you can say at this point. I will just conclude within one or two statements. As I said, this is just 1% of ADS, and I am still trying to learn ADS and the microwave circuit design and antenna design in this particular field. Only my humble submission is that if I have made any wrong statement, if I have said any wrong concept to you, so please forget it. And if you find anything meaningful, any useful, so please take away from this training program and use it to your future work in this field. The best wishes from my side, and thank you for participation in this training program. Tomorrow we will have a formal valedictory function. That time also you can speak. But anyways, if you are interested, you can go ahead.
Sir, the videos will be there on your YouTube channel for
Yes,
some
yes.
time.
Every day I will be uploading videos. Even today I will upload the video just after completion of our session, and they will be always there.
Okay,
You can
sir.
always refer to them. And you can also share with your colleagues, your friends in the area of microwave and RF, and you can also share with your students. So maximum people will get benefited through those videos. That is actual our intention. And you can always have the collaboration with the people if you find that we could help you in some regard. The facilities, as our HOD sir and principal sir said you during the inaugural function, we have the facility of vector network analyzer up to 15 gigahertz. And now you know me better what I can do, how I can support you in your maybe some of the work in the area of RF and microwave. So always you are welcome. On behalf of my department and institute, we will be always with you. If we could help you in some regard in the area of RF and microwave, we will really find ourselves as a fortunate, and the purpose of this training program would be served. All right. So if there is no any further question or comments from participants, may I stop here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as we said that the last date and time for submission of your assignment was today only by 5 p.m. Maybe because of any reason, if some of you have not able to submit your assignments, so please take a time and submit it at least by tomorrow morning, so that that will be very useful for us to keep the record of this training program, how our participants have interacted and how they have responded to our training program. So we'll make a proper report of this training program, and if you submit it, the other thing is that you will be a strong contender to get the best participant award, and we'll be going to issue a separate certificate. The certificate of participation will be there for all registered participants and who have attended it with keen interest. But at the same time, one best participant will be selected, and it will be announced during valedictory function on tomorrow. So please take half an hour of a time, half an hour or 1 hour at the max, to complete those assignments and prepare a small 2-3 pages report and submit it to the provided link. If you get any difficulty during that assignment, you are always free to talk to me. With this note, thank you all of you. Thank you very much. And my request is that please do join tomorrow's session with maximum number of attendance, so that the final session will be very enjoyable, and even the industry person will get a good kind of response from our side that we have to ensure. With that, I stop here. Thank you all of you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.